Ginga!
What's up, galera? It's Hey with gingaandgrowstrong.com, and today I'm back with another tutorial. This time I want to talk about the musical instruments in Capoeira and give you the differentiation between the two different styles. So remember that back in the day there was two predominantly styles of Capoeira, which is regional and then Angola Capoeira, Angola style. So remember Mestre Bimba came out with the first dojo, Capoeira dojo, and it was regional style, luta baiana, more fight style Capoeira, and his bateria was set up a little different if you didn't know. So he was Berimbau, dois, pandeiros, which means one berimbau and two pandeiros. Okay, so that's just the way he did it, and that's traditional regional style, which is, like I said, it's not contemporary, Contemporanea, which is probably what most people play today. There are still some very traditional style regional groups that keep it real, traditional, okay, where they still follow the same thing: one berimbau and two pandeiros. So this is the pandeiro. Okay, it's like a tambourine. Okay, but it has these little symbols, little mini symbols on here, whatever you want to call these jinglers, and it could be any type. It could be a hided. These are, they could be nylon or plastic. But back in the day, the history. I mean, the pandeiro dates back to like Egypt. Old instrument, Africa, and so they were just brought with them and introduced into the New World. So you can find these all over the world historically, but I think they date back to the oldest time was in Egypt and Africa. So this is what they would use. They would use two of these. One on the left side of the Mestre Bimba, one on the right side. Okay. Meanwhile, the Berimbau we play. Okay. The Berimbau, and these are also related to Africa. Okay, you could go back to Africa and find the Berimbau. They have nothing to do with Capoeira. Okay, they have a lot of different one-string instruments similar to the berimbau in Africa. Okay, it's with the hollowed-out gourd. Okay, a biriba, we call this a verga. Okay, so but the actual plant is biriba, what they use in Africa. I don't know, just whatever was was there, and then of course arame, which is now they're like radials or radial water inside of tires. Before they were using monkey gut, they use all sorts of stuff. And then a pedra, okay, or a dobrao. So it just depends on what what you have available. Okay, so berimbau, dois pandeiros, which is one berimbau and those two pandeiros. So okay, moving on to the Angola group. The Angola group with Mestre Pastinha, this is when they started bringing in a whole lot of instruments into the bateria. Okay, they would use three berimbaus. Okay, three berimbaus, which is a mejio, which is this one, a high-pitched one called the viola, and then also the bassy one, which is a gunga. And usually the gunga is the most is played by the most senior player or master there. Okay, he's the one that controls the bass line and the tempo. Okay, and that's just regular old ritual. Okay, doesn't mean that mestres can go off and play something else like mejio or viola if they want to. Hey, they're the masters; they control it. But traditionally, that's how you give the lowest one. So if you're ever in a bateria with somebody, a master or anything, and someone switches out, you look at him and ask for permission, and you give him the lowest one. You give him the wunga. Okay, and if they're like, I don't want to play it, you play it, okay, and that means they trust you enough to not mess it up, the controller. Okay, so remember there was three berimbaus in Angola style. Okay, so I'm going to put this up. Okay, there would be a pandeiro. We already went over that. And there could be two pandeiros. Okay, one on either side, way at the very end. Okay, or sometimes just one, depending on. In contemporary groups, they use whatever, their mixture of what they taught you. In our group, it's three berimbaus, one pandeiro, and one atabaque. Okay? Okay, let's go to the Atabaque. Okay, Atabaque. This is a traditional Atabaque we bought from Brazil years ago. So cowhide top. This is made out of a barrel. Okay, as you see back in the day, it was traditionally, it's just a barrel turned upside down. Okay, and it's got some pegs that they tune it with. So this was also introduced in the full Bateria of Angola. And here behind me I have these congas and stuff. They're just better engineered now. This is a traditional one that still has that classic sound. Okay, these bongo, these congas, they're just engineered better. They're clean, they project, you hit it, the noise fills the room. And these other ones, these crude, original, traditional style, it's just you have to hit them harder, they're rougher. But still, you got to have one if you're in a capoeira group. I just, if you want to have a legit program, you're going to at least have one real Atabaque. Okay, and usually there's only one. Contemporary guys, like I said, sometimes they add two. And training with Mestre Bimba down in the heart of Brazil, in Belo Horizonte, they would say that, hey, back in the day, there was just whatever you had. There was no set thing. Berimbau, no, whatever you had. If they just had a guy playing a Agogo and a guy with a shaker, that's all they would play. The traditional standard ways, yes, there were standard ways for the schools, the Angola schools, but hey, when you're out on the streets and you're just playing capoeira, it's just whatever you had. Clapping, and that's pretty much about it. Clapping or whatever you use, okay? Moving on to Agogo. So Agogo is a couple different ones. Nowadays we use metal Agogos. Angola would, use this. They use everything. It sounds beautiful. It's a big bateria of awesome music. Traditionally, they do the Agogo de castanha. Okay, were used, which are coconuts. Okay, hollowed out coconuts. Okay. So this is the traditional sound, but now they use everything. Okay. And finally, so they have something that's called a heckle, because it makes like heckle. When we were training with Mestre Bimba in the heart of the favela, of the Senzala in BH, Belo Horizonte, they would use something similar to this. It wasn't a guida, but it was something similar. And they would use a screwdriver, okay, or like a ice pick, and to play like that. So you don't have to have a real heckle. A real heckle looks completely different. It's very they're nice played. But as long as you get that effect, what they're looking for, which is okay. So those are the instruments that are used. I know, right? A screwdriver. It's crazy, but they would use it. So those are pretty much the most traditional ones. When we train with Mestre Bimba, and if you don't know who Mestre Bimba is, look him up. He's amazing. He's one of the historical figures ever. He calls himself the master that baptizes masters. He makes masters. So that is pretty much it. What I was saying is, whenever we train with him, he would use a lot of triangle. So whatever they wanted to use musically, it really gave it a good ashe, a good energy. So anyway, I hope that this video has been very educational for you, very helpful for you to kind of know the two different schools. So the last part that I want to touch on before I end the video is that the contemporary group, Contemporanea, is any mixture of those. Whatever your school, whatever your master says that it is, it's just whatever you had, okay? And whatever sounds good, whatever your master made, and they made those corrections and they made those modifications to put the sound that they wanted to. So, like I said, until next time, galera, it's oreicg with gingaandgrowstrong. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, all the good stuff, and we'll see you in the next one. Ashe.
Jinga! And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Gingaandgrowstrong.